Good morning, this is Jack from Charles in the Markets Crypto, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 13th of May. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it, training charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at ccmcrypto.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 3 days. All right, great. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Now, yesterday I was saying that it was possible we could just drop directly from here. We have been going down a little, not back at the main support here, which is obviously at the weekly middle band here at 75,892.82. So we are still somewhere above that, although they're holding as resistance so far on both Ethereum and Solana. In terms of the daily chart, no current divergence. This could have become a sell signal here, but we didn't actually quite retest this high. We are failing so far at the 200 DMA. Which is a very obvious and good place to be failing. In terms of the pattern setup here on the hourly chart, well, no divergence here. We have a beautiful channel here now. It's a peach. We've got another one on Ethereum. We're pulling back a bit. I am thinking we're going to make another high on equities in all probability. I'm thinking we might see a bit more downside today and then head back up and retest. We could see a retest of these highs while we were doing that, but I think this looks almost done. And in terms of channels, I quite like seeing these because they don't tend to overthrow. They do occasionally evolve into other patterns, but they don't tend to overthrow. So when you see it break up, it is a real warning sign, and that's always nice to see. We have not broken up. In terms of the pattern itself, looks like a peach. I'm also watching this rising support trend line from this last significant low, and I've got that just below where we are here at about the 79,500 area. All right, looking at Solana, we are still testing and so far failing at the weekly middle band. On the daily chart, we haven't really got up close enough to get to anything particularly significant. I am wondering whether we're going to see a little higher here to make it up to this trend line here, which I've got marginally over 100 at this point, but it doesn't need to reach that. But it would improve the pattern setup. At the moment, well, that would improve it a lot. It would give us a beautiful falling wedge, although, of course, those do sometimes overthrow. We had a little IHS here, which broke up with a target in the 97.66 area, and it came down so close to this right shoulder low at 81.31 that I thought really it probably wasn't going to make target. But you know what? It then bulked off and made target. So we've got higher high there, new rally high. That was the minimum I was hoping for here. Doesn't need to go any higher, but I'm still wondering about this trend line here, which I've actually got. Actually, looking more like the 101 area. So I am still wondering about that. In terms of the 15-minute chart, we have been seeing a bit of a retracement here, and this could be a double bottom, but I am wondering about ABC, then possible high retest. We shall see how that goes. Looking at the Ethereum chart, we're again failing at the weekly middle band. That's been being tested for about 4 weeks. Daily chart, we are slightly below the daily middle band again, and that is a break back below at the moment. But of course, the movement has been so limited lately that the Bollinger Bands are very, very tight. In terms of the hourly chart, I'm wondering again about a retest this high, which actually you can see is at 24.6649. Alternatively, we could come down to 2175 possibly and set up a right shoulder, but I'm looking for a pattern to take us back down again. Haven't got that yet. We shall see. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. Okay, brilliant. In that case, let's see. Today, just in terms of the overall stats, and I'm wondering about this because, of course, we've already pretty much retested the high on ES. But for today, we've got the only resolutely bearish stats of the week. We have actually 28% chance of historically of closing green today. That's actually quite bearish. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to deliver, but if we're going to see anything more than yesterday's and then a high retest, this should be a very, very good day and the obvious day to do it. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care. Yeah, it really feels heavy. And bigger picture, it's starting looking seriously unwell. All right, brilliant. Catch everyone tomorrow. Everyone take care.